Hey guys, today we're going to be making some healthy gingerbread muffins, and we're making it in the new kitchen, which is super awesome and exciting. I actually got the idea for the gingerbread muffins in this magazine that I got in the mail, and actually a pinch of yum recipe is in this magazine, which is why I got it. But I saw this picture and I didn't even really need to read the recipe. I was just like, I need to make those. So I looked at this recipe. Actually, the original recipe is from Kathy Trundle, deliciouslyyum.com. But I changed it quite a bit to be a little bit healthier. So the first thing I'm gonna do to start getting these muffins going and have them be a little bit healthier is I'm using coconut oil, okay? So I buy these big things of coconut oil at Costco, and actually I haven't been very good about using them, but now is my time, right? Now is the time I'm gonna actually use it. So what I did is I scooped it out and then I just melted it. So I have it in this bowl and it's kind of like runny like that. It's kind of melted and it's like an oil. So what I'm gonna add to that is this molasses, which is always sticky on the bottom. So I put that little thing under there so that it doesn't drip, but I'm gonna put a half a cup of molasses in with that coconut oil. So I'm just gonna do that. And now what I'm doing is I'm whisking together that melted coconut oil with that molasses, which can be a little bit tricky at first because it can be hard to get them to kind of actually incorporate together, but this is looking real good. Nice and smooth. Okay, I'm gonna put that off to the side and I'll be adding it in just a second. But now I'm gonna get my big bowl out, my big mixing bowl. And now in my big mixing bowl, I'm gonna put an egg. So I have my one egg. I'll crack it in, and I'm gonna also put in here some maple syrup. Oh, I got a little eggshell in there. Whoops. All right. And then let's do about a half a cup of maple syrup. I'll grab my half cup measure. We did a sugar-free experiment a couple months ago, and we started using more honey and maple syrup instead of refined sugar, and I love it. And especially in these muffins because they're gingerbread, so the maple syrup is perfect for that. And then the other thing I'm gonna put in is a little bit of ginger paste. I love this stuff. This is like a fresh ginger paste. So instead of keeping fresh ginger on hand, you can just kind of just get a little fresh ginger in there. And I'm doing about a tablespoon of that in there. That'll give it that nice spicy ginger flavor. All right, now I'm gonna whisk that stuff together, get it nice and smooth. And now that it's nice and smooth, right, you can see that, I'm gonna add in that coconut oil and molasses mixture. And I'm also going to add in a half cup of sour cream and a half cup of milk. And I've actually let this sit out for a while so that it's room temperature, because that coconut oil, if you have a cold liquid that you add in with it, it's gonna get all chunky and weird. So I like to try to keep those at room temperature so that it doesn't mess up the consistency of the coconut oil. And now that that's nice and smooth in there, it's nice and kind of creamy looking, if you can kind of see that, I'm gonna dump in my flour mixture, which is just, I did half whole wheat and half regular flour. So it's about a cup and a fourth of whole wheat, cup and a fourth of regular, and then baking soda, salt, and cinnamon. So let's get that in there. And now I'm just gonna stir it up. One thing about muffins, they always say you shouldn't stir it too much. I always have a really hard time with that, but I always just try to count the number of stirs I'm doing. So I guess you can count with me and we'll see how many I actually have to do here to get it mixed. Okay, it's almost there. It's a little bit lumpy, but that's usually okay. We'll give it a couple more gentle stirs. Looking good. It's a little bit lumpy. You can kind of see it's a little homely looking and lumpy, but that's okay. That's how muffin batter is, and that's how it should be. Okay, I actually already greased this muffin tin, so I'm gonna, this is my little trick. It's not really that special, but I use an ice cream scoop. So I'm gonna get my ice cream scoop and then scoop the batter in there. So what I do is I just use it to scoop in. It's one of those old-fashioned ones, and then I just whoop, right in there. And now that I have my muffins all scooped in there, they're looking all nice and domed on the top, I'm actually gonna take this turbinado sugar, which I love right now. It's so yummy for muffins and especially for just like baked stuff for a little bit of extra crunchy sweetness. And I'm just gonna sprinkle that sugar right over the top of the muffins. So I like to be pretty generous with that, because what happens is as the muffins rise, the sugar kind of falls into the crevices, but it doesn't lose its texture. So it's like, I always think of like those big jumbo muffins from Perkins. I used to work at Perkins, so that's why I think of that. And they have that crunchy sugar on top, and I just can never get over that. I love it. So that's what we're doing here. We're just putting the sugar right on top so it can bake and get nice and crunchy. And there they are, all ready to go in the oven. So I'm gonna bake them at 350 for, what did I say, like 15 minutes to start, and then I'll just check them and see how they are at 15, and then I'll let you know how they turn out. So I can hear the timer going off. The muffins are done. I'm gonna get them out of the oven and see how they look. They are beautiful. They're nice and big and puffy. I love puffy muffins. And they have that sparkly, kind of crunchy, cinnamon, sugary look over the top. And I'm super, super excited to eat one with my coffee this morning on this snowy Minnesota morning. If you guys want to grab the printable recipe for these gingerbread muffins, these healthier gingerbread muffins, you can head on over to pinchofyum.com and we'll have the recipe for you over there. Thanks for watching.